Hi crew, it's Alyssa again. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Alyssa Smiley and I'm the crew secretary at University of Louvain. For those of you who may not know, we are going to be entering into a series about the different stages of grief and how it relates to our current COVID-19 pandemic. So we have already uploaded the first 3 out of 6 stages on our YouTube channel, so if you want to check those out, that'd be great. And then this week we're going to be doing the last 3 out of 6 stages. So today, the stage I'm going to be focusing on is sadness. And sadness is defined as an emotional pain associated with or characterized by feelings of disadvantage, loss, despair, grief, helplessness, disappointment, and sorrow. So this stage comes after bargaining and before acceptance, but you may not feel it in this order, which is okay because we experience these stages in different times. So after bargaining, our attention tends to go towards the present, which would be this current sadness. And these empty feelings start to prevail, and that's because reality is starting to set in and we realize that there's no more room for denial. We start to see that this pandemic is real. So after being a little bit over a month in this lockdown, I can admit that I've had waves of sadness and loneliness, and I'm sure most of you have too. So it's hard being away from family, friends, coworkers, and although we have video chatting and texting, some of it just doesn't feel like it's enough. So I know a lot of you probably have experienced sadness in your life, but it may feel different in this time with this pandemic. So I want to give you guys a little bit of examples to see if you guys can recognize this sadness and if you are experiencing this stage. So some examples may include you telling yourself, well, I can't go to work, I can't earn money, how will I pay my rent, buy food? Pretty soon I'll be broke and homeless. So you're kind of having this feeling of hopelessness and emptiness. Another example may be you're telling yourself, this epidemic is the new normal. I could say goodbye to my hopes in future. Another thing I wanted to point out is during this time of sadness, it can come from a variety of things. And some things that I've come up with that maybe you guys can relate to is either losing your job. I know a lot of concerts, sports games, your school semester, birthdays, holidays, everything is so different now. We can't celebrate how we normally could, and a lot of these events have been canceled. And for seniors specifically, I know you guys are uncertain about what your graduation is going to entail or when it's going to be, and you may feel this type of sadness because you didn't get to experience your last semester on campus. And all these things and all these reasons that contribute to the sadness are all valid. So I want to give you guys some verses to be able to reflect and encourage you through this stage. So the first verse I want to give you guys is Romans 8:18, and it says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. So I love this verse because basically what God is telling us is that whatever you're feeling right now is nothing to compare for the good things that are going to be coming. So I love this verse, especially because it's giving us hope that better things are coming. And I think in this current situation, it's really important to remember that better times and better things are going to be coming, and that God is not allowing all this to happen, not to replenish it in a greater magnitude in the future. So another Bible verse I want to give you guys is Philippians 4:13. I know most of us have heard this verse, but it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I love this verse because it's true. So anything that we go through, God can get us through. If we walk with God, we can get through anything. So I encourage you to let this verse remind you that you can do anything when you have God on your side. And I continue to tell you to trust in Him and to give all your problems to Him. So another verse I want to give you guys is John 16:33. It says, I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. So this verse is basically telling us that if we go to God, He'll give us peace. And I love this verse also because it says, I have overcome the world. So none of this is a shock to God, and none of this is something that God can't overcome. And I want to remind you guys that. So I think that God is trying to tell us that He knows that we're going to experience difficult times, but these are some comforting words that can be our strength as we reflect on His love for us. So through faith, you can overcome any obstacles in your life, and specifically, we can overcome this pandemic together and with God. So the last verse I want to give you guys is Matthew 11:28, which says, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So basically, God is saying that go to Him whenever you feel this burden. And I know a lot of times this isolation or the sadness can make you feel and like you have a heavy burden. And I know a lot of people mistake this thinking of a burden that they have to go through it alone, but I'm telling you right now that you don't have to, and that God is always there for you. Although you may not feel like He is always there for you. So these verses serve as a reminder that Jesus is always going to be there to lift up our burdens and provide relief for us. But all you have to do is give Him your problems and give Him your fears and uncertainties, and He'll grant you relief. So I love talking to you guys, and I miss you all so much. I wanted to also remind you that as an e-board, we are all here for you. So reach out whenever or with ever you need to talk or anything like that. So I just wanted to say that I hope you guys take these verses and use them to encourage or reflect during this time. Thank you.